Okay, welcome in. I'm now going to be reviewing Monday's action from the Major League Baseball. The Atlanta Braves went into Chicago to take on the White Sox. They would get a shutout. 9-0 would be the final. Atlanta has now improved to 3-1. While the White Sox are still looking for their first win of the season, they have dropped to 0-4. Charlie Morton picked up his first win, while Chris Flexen suffered the loss. The Colorado Rockies went into Chicago to take on the Cubs. Another shutout, 5-0. This time in favor for Chicago. They have now evened up their record at 2-2, while the Rockies have dropped to 1-4. Shoto Imanagata would get his first win of the season, while Dakota Hudson suffered the L. The Pittsburgh Pirates went into the nation's capital to take on the Washington Nationals. 8-4 would be the final score. The Pirates are one of the few teams that are still undefeated. They are now have a perfect 5-0 record. Rosny Contreras would get the victory. He has picked up his first win of the season. Robert Garcia suffered his first loss. And if I'm pronouncing this name correctly, Aroldis Chapman picked up the save for Pittsburgh. The Kansas City Chiefs went into Baltimore. Kansas City Chiefs, oh my gosh. Kansas City Royals went into Baltimore to take on the Orioles. 6-4 would be the final score in favor of the Birds. They have now improved to 3-1, while the Royals have dropped to 1-3. Craig Kimbrell picked up his first win of the season, while Nick Anderson got his first loss. The Cincinnati Reds went into Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. The Reds would double up on Philadelphia. 6-3 would be the final score. Cincinnati has now improved to 3-1, while Philly has dropped to 1-3. Alexis Diaz picked up his first win of the season. He is now 1-1, while Connor Brogdon suffered the loss. The Anaheim Angels, or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, went into Miami to take on the Marlins. They would come away victorious. 7-4 would be the final score. They have now evened up their record at 2-2, while the Marlins, just like the White Sox, are still looking for their first win of the year, 0-5. Adam Simber picked up his first win. Tanner Scott suffered his second loss of the season, and Carlos Estevez picked up his second save thus far. The Texas Rangers began their series with the Tampa Bay Rays. It was a one-sided affair. 9-3 would be the final score. The Rangers have now improved to 3-1. Tampa Bay has dropped to 2-3. Dane Dunning picked up his first win, and Ryan Pepiot suffered the loss. The Detroit Tigers went into New York to take on the Mets, and they got a shutout. 5-0 would be the final score. The Tigers are still undefeated on the season, 4-0, while the Mets are still looking for their first win of the season. They have dropped to 0-4. Jason Foley would pick up his first win of the year. Michael Tonkin suffered the loss, and Shelby Miller picked up his first save of 2024. Toronto Blue Jays went into Houston to begin their series with the Astros. It was a one-sided affair. 10-0 would be the final score. Ronel Blanco would get his first win of the season. Not only was it his first win, and not only did he get a shutout, but he threw a no-hitter, which is scarce. It's not as common as a lot of people think. And with that, the Houston Astros have picked up their first win of the season. They are 1-4. The Blue Jays have dropped to 2-3. And Bowden Francis suffered the loss in the game. The Cleveland Guardians began their series with the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners would prevail in this one. A tight contest, 5-4 would be the final score. Both of these squads are now sitting at 3-2. Emerson Hanlock would pick up the first win of the year. Tristan McKenzie would suffer his first loss. And Ryan Stanek would get his first save of the season. The St. Louis Cardinals went into San Diego to begin their series with the Padres. They would triple up the score. 6-2 would be the final score in favor of the Birds. They are now sitting at 2-3. The Padres are sitting at 3-4. Kyle Gibson picked up his first win, while Matt Waldrum picked up his first loss. The Boston Red Sox began their series with the Oakland A's, and they got a shutout, 9-0. Seems like it's pretty common. I think there was like 3 shutouts on this particular date. 9-0 would be the final score. The Red Sox have now improved to 3-2, while the A's have dropped to 1-4. Tanner Hook would get his first win of the season. Joe Boyle would suffer the loss, and Chase Anderson would get his first save for the Sox. The New York Yankees went into Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. They won that first game of their series. 5-2 would be the final score. The Yankees are still undefeated, 5-0, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, despite the loss, are still 3-2. Luke Weaver picked up his second win of the season. Renee Nelson suffered the first loss, and Victor Gonzalez would get the save in this game. Two teams from the NL West duking it out as the San Francisco Giants went into Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. 8-3 would be the final score in favor of LA. They have now improved to 5-2. The Giants have dropped to 2-3. James Paxton picked up his first win of the season, while Keaton Winn suffered the loss for the Giants. All right, that takes care of the recap from Monday's action of the Major League Baseball season. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, take care.